Hey everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all staying happy and healthy during this time, and I know a lot of gyms are closed, but we can still work out at home when we get creative, and we can still use outside to play. I will be giving you 3 different workouts, 1 lower body, 1 upper body, and 1 core cardio workout. Each of these workouts can be done 2 times a week for 4 weeks. While this consistency may seem boring, it's going to be really important for gaining strength, stability, and mobility throughout each of these movements. Although I can't do an assessment on each and every one of you watching this, I'm going to focus on movements that will target typical muscular imbalance and weaknesses all over. So now, I'll show you exactly what you need, and we will get started. Alrighty, so the first piece of equipment I have here is a yoga mat. If you have a mat, great. If you don't have a mat, you don't need a mat. Second piece is a towel. I'm gonna assume that most of you guys have a towel at home. If you don't have a towel, you can use a pillowcase. You can use a sheet. Next up, we have yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can find books, whatever stacks up to about 6 inches we'll need for one of our exercises. Next, we have a backpack. I'm thinking if you have a backpack, any type of bag, and you can just load it up with whatever you can find in your house. Here I have a bottle of vinegar. And then we have a broomstick. And that's all. Plus your body. That's it. Okay, so if any of you have watched any of my videos prior to the one I'm posting now, you will see that a common cue I give is keeping your rib cage over your pelvis. So I'm going to show you exactly what that means, because that's really important throughout every exercise that you do. So rib cage here, right? Pelvis here. We want those to be in line with each other. We don't want them to be like this, although a lot of us live in this posture, or sometimes we live in this posture. Our first warm-up exercise is the glute bridge. We're gonna lay on our back, and we're gonna keep in mind our rib cage over our pelvis, always. We're gonna feel our feet in the ground. The 3 points in our feet we're trying to feel in almost every exercise involving the legs is the bone below your big toe, the bone below your little toe, and your heel. So you have a tripod in your foot. That's gonna help with stability. So from here, you're gonna find those 3 points in your feet, and you're gonna squeeze your butt and bring your butt up in the air as high as you can go without making that arch in your low back, because we wanna keep the tension in our glutes and hamstrings. And if we squeeze our knees in just a little bit, we can get our inner thighs. We're gonna go up and down from here 10 times. Things to keep in mind while you do this: when you bridge up, you're gonna cramp your butt really tight, like if you had $1 million bill between your butt cheeks. Don't let me take it. And make sure you're breathing. People like to forget to breathe in general. They also like to forget to breathe when they're exercising. I don't know how many I've done because I'm not counting, but here we go. I'm gonna call that 10. Next, we're gonna do the dead bug. We're gonna bring our legs up in the air. If you wanna get crazy, you can straighten them out. Some people don't have that flexibility, and that's okay. Or we can keep our knees bent, or we can even bring one foot to the floor as we go through this exercise. Those are just some variations for you. So, arms are up in the air like you're reaching for the ceiling. Knees are bent, or legs are straight, or one foot's on the floor. And then we're going to take our right arm and our left leg and bring it down towards the floor. We're only gonna go as low as we can without feeling it in our low back. We wanna keep all the tension in our abs. And while we're here, I wanna take an inhale, exhale, pause, and then we'll come back up. So, that's 1 rep, and then we'll do it again. Inhale, exhale, and pause. if for some reason you can't straighten this leg, you can always keep the knee bent and just hover a little bit further away from the floor. Or you can start with just really small movements. And we're just gonna do 5 each side. For the dead bug, you'll obviously do right arm and left leg, and then switch to left arm, right leg. 5 times on each side. Glute bridges 10 times total, and you're gonna do that 2 times through. So glute bridge, dead bug, glute bridge, dead bug. Cool? So you go do that, and I'm gonna move on to the next exercises. As we go through these exercises, I'm probably going to slow a lot of them down, and there's a reason for that. We're trying to keep a lot of tempo, especially with body weight movements, in order to increase the intensity. This should be hard, body weight or not, but the tempos and pauses that I'll show you are really gonna kick this up. Okay, so the first exercise we're doing is the front foot elevated split squat. And what you'll need is a block or 2, book or 2, box of soda or 2, to elevate 1 foot in the front. Now I have 2 yoga blocks here and I might fall at some point, and you guys can just laugh, but that's okay. So, we're gonna start back here. Our back leg is extended in the back as much as we can get it. If when you start going through the movement and you feel unstable, you can bring the leg forward a little bit and you can bend the knee down instead of keeping the leg straight. I'm gonna keep it straight. I also want you to squeeze the back butt really tight, and I'm on my right leg right now, so I want to turn my left hip and point it a little bit towards my right knee so that I'm not too open in my hips. So from here, we're going to sit ourselves into our front leg. Our hamstring should hit our calf, and we're gonna hold here for about 2 seconds while we feel our foot on the step or the block or the book, and we're gonna push down into the floor like we're killing a bug to stand up. Keep squeezing the back butt, keep breathing, and keep the rib cage over the pelvis. Don't be like this. Push down into the floor and stand up. Now as you go through this movement, you should start feeling a big stretch in the back leg. You should feel the back glute. You should feel the front quad. And we're gonna do 10 to 12. So this is gonna hurt. And I'm gonna do it with you because I'm a good person. If you decide you wanna add weight, you can hold something in the front, or you can hold something on the sides. If you have dumbbells at home, kettlebells, a way to use resistance bands, which I'll talk about at some point. I think I'm on 7, but I don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter because everything hurts. Okay. I'm out of breath. So now you're gonna do your left side, which I'm not gonna do with you, but you can do it. 10 to 12, each side, go. Exercise number 2 that we're pairing with the front foot elevated split squats is towel leg curls. So we just work the front of our legs. Now we're gonna go to the back of our legs and work our hamstrings and our glutes. So, grab your towel. You're gonna get both feet on it. You're gonna bridge up just like you did in the glute bridge. And without going too far where you lose any of this positioning, you're gonna extend your legs out and you're gonna curl in. You might only be able to go to like here and then pull in, but if you do it right, you should feel your hamstrings a lot. Yeah, I feel it too. If you feel this in your back, just check in that you're squeezing your glutes really tight and check in that your rib cage is over your pelvis. you're going to do 10 to 12 of those as well. But I will give you an alternative option for that exercise because it can be tough for people. For the alternative exercise to the leg curls, we are going to do feet elevated glute bridges. So similar to the glute bridge in the warm-up, we're going to elevate your feet to somewhere at a position where your legs are 90 degrees. So I'm going to use this couch here, hands down, ribs over pelvis, and you're going to dig your heels down into the seat really hard, and you're going to bridge your hips up. And you're just going up and down like that. This one's going to be a lot easier for most people, and you should, just like the leg curls, feel your hamstrings if you're digging your heels down towards the floor. And same concept, you can do 10 to 12 of those. With those two exercises, you're going to alternate back and forth 3 times. So you'll do the split squats, leg curls, split squats, leg curls, split squats, leg curls, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise group. For the next group of exercises, I'm going to show you the goblet squat or the body weight squat and seated good mornings. So for the body weight squat, most people do better off when they elevate their heels because it's going to keep them in a better position. What you're going to do is keep your chest and your chin tall and proud. Don't do this and look like a melting candle. So stay up real tall, and you're going to find your feet on the ground, and you're going to feel your heels in the blocks or the books you're using or whatever. From here, rib cage over pelvis, you're going to start sinking down into the floor, and you're going to hold it here for a second or two, and then feel yourself push through your ball of your foot and your heels as you stand up. So as we're going through this movement, make sure you're breathing. You're gonna hold this, and you're feeling your quads and you're feeling your butt as you stand up. One common question that happens is, my knees shouldn't go past my toes. I hear that all the time. But yes, they can go past your toes. That is how you train the joint in a full range of movement. If you can't go that low without pain, then limit the range of movement, or maybe there's something else that needs addressing that I can't help you with right now. But think about, if you can get low, keeping your knees in line with your toes. So if your knees were a train and your toes were a train track, you want to keep them in line. Don't be like this or don't be like that. Get it? Make sure you're breathing. And you're going to do 10 to 12 of these as well. Okay, so this is when we grab our broomstick, and we're going to put it on our back, like so, where we squeeze our shoulder blades together, and we make a shelf with our back to keep the broomstick on. Again, your rib cage wants to stay over your pelvis, but you want to keep your chest tall and proud. And we're going to find a seat that's a little less cushy than this one, ideally. We're going to keep our legs at 90 degrees, and we're going to sit our chest down towards the floor, pushing our butt back. And we're gonna hold it here, and we're gonna squeeze our butt forward to the top. If you were looking at this from the side, then you would see that it looks exactly like a deadlift. Couple things to think about while you do this is make sure you're sticking your butt back. If you were looking at it from the side, you would want to see your hips move back and forth. The other thing to think about, if you feel your back start to round as you go forward, that's going to be the place where you want to stop. You want your spine to be really long throughout this movement to train it properly. If for some reason you can't go very far right now, just work on the pattern, and hopefully in the next 4 weeks you'll get even better with it. Again, you're going to do this for 10 to 12 reps, and make sure you're breathing. Okay, you made it to your last round of exercises. The next round, we're going to do calf raises and leg extensions. So, for the calf raises, you're going to grab a yoga block or your books or whatever, and make sure you have something to balance against, either a chair, a wall, anything that's stable. And you're gonna make sure you can get enough stretch when your heels drop down to the floor that you feel a big stretch in your calf. And then from there, you're gonna raise all the way up on your tippy toes, as high up as you can go. And you're gonna hold it there for a second, and then you're gonna drop all the way down to the floor, or close to the floor. Feel that stretch, and then shoot yourself straight up in the air. If you do these right, they're going to burn. We're gonna do 12 to 15. If at some point this gets too easy, you can always add a weight to one hand, or up here, or a backpack. Sometimes people will lean forward instead of coming straight up because that's easier to do than actually using the muscle through its range. So try to be honest with yourself and just make sure you're going straight up and down. For the leg extension, we're going to get a chair or a couch or something of the sort. Ideally something that's not too plushy like this one. But you're going to raise your feet up on the couch or chair. You're going to be in a plank position here, keeping your rib cage over your pelvis. And drop your knees down towards the floor. And you're going to squeeze your quads to bring yourself back to the plank. So this you should feel in your core. You should also feel in your quads as you squeeze them up to the ceiling. This one's really hard. If you can do 10 to 12, that would be great. But if that's too hard, what you can do is, instead of elevating your feet, you can elevate your hands. Legs would go back a little bit, and you would go through the same motion. Try to keep your arms straight. Drop your knees to the floor. Press your legs back with your quads. For that last circuit, you'll be doing 3 sets. Calf raises for 12 to 15 reps. Leg extensions for 10 to 12 reps. Calf raises, leg extensions, calf raises, leg extensions. And then you finished. I hope you guys had a great workout. If you have any comments or questions, please comment below. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting subscribe below. I hope you guys stay happy and healthy. See you next time.